Super Sunday dawned bright and beautiful, like a scene from a Miami travel poster. But amid the sun-dappled skies and swaying palms, an alien sound soon pierced the air. The particular brand of football fanatic known as the Steeler fan swarmed outside Miami's Orange Bowl hours before game time. Pittsburgh partisans seemed to be everywhere, wearing almost anything, and all readily identifiable as partial to the Steeler cause. There were to be two teams participating in Super Bowl X, but Pittsburgh Hard Hats outnumbered Dallas Stetsons 3-1. This battle to be number one among the boisterous celebrants continued long and loud inside the stadium. The Roman numeral classic known as Super Bowl X was to be witnessed not only by the 80,187 in the Orange Bowl, but well over 80 million TV viewers, the largest audience in television history. The pre-game festivities merely stoked the fires for the main attraction, the two finest teams in professional football. The surprising Dallas Cowboys were the Cinderella team of the NFL. Relegated to the purgatory of rebuilding before the season began, Dallas parlayed a new spirit and some last-minute miracles into a storybook season that would culminate with this, their third visit to the Super Bowl. While Dallas needed miracles to reach the summit, Pittsburgh had few pitfalls along the way. For the Steelers had gone from Cinderella status to establishment powerhouse in a single year. Standing between them and a second Super Bowl victory was the master of innovation, Tom Landry. With Landry's slide rule mind on the sidelines and Roger Staubach on the field, Dallas has a nearly unbeatable combination. For Staubach personifies the quarterback as a leader, and his talent is indisputable. His counterpart in Pittsburgh is that famed country singer, Terry Bradshaw. With a stature of Super Bowl IX's Tiffany Trophy behind him, the new Bradshaw is confident and mature. Super Bowl X, like the 9 others before it, had an abundance of pageantry and pizzazz. But for the first time, the carnival of color was completely overshadowed by the game itself. For Super Bowl X was the most exciting Super Bowl ever. The tempo of the game was set from the start. Dallas's reverse on the opening kickoff surprised Pittsburgh, and only Roy Gerela kept Tom Henderson from going all the way. But the little kicker paid a big price. He suffered badly bruised ribs that would affect his performance all day. Dallas's flim-flammery had given them the ball in Steeler territory, and already everyone sensed this Super Bowl would break the mold. On the first play from scrimmage, L.C. Greenwood stripped Roger Staubach of the ball. Center John Fitzgerald was on the spot, but the Cowboys were forced to punt. Dallas soon got a second, even better chance when Pittsburgh punter Bobby Walden dropped the ball, and the Dallas special team swarmed quickly in on their prey. This scene was etched indelibly on the mind of Chuck Noll, for Pittsburgh's poor kicking game was something that would haunt him all afternoon. On the very next play from the Pittsburgh 29, the Cowboys' multiple movement created confusion in the Steeler defense. Staubach's play fake and Dallas's decoys cleared the middle. Drew Pearson filled the void, gathered in a perfect pass from Jolly Roger, and was free. The Steelers were stunned. It was the only touchdown they permitted in the first quarter of the entire season, a total of 17 games. The Cowboys had made it look easy. But led by Terry Bradshaw, the Steelers came roaring back. Lynn Swann's kangaroo catch put Pittsburgh in close. Then Bradshaw crossed up the Cowboy computer with play 333, an unusual three tight end formation that the Dallas defense knew Pittsburgh always ran from. When number 72, Jerry Mullins, went in motion as the third tight end, the Cowboys defense followed him toward the middle. But Bradshaw rolled right and hit a wide open Randy Grossman for the touchdown that tied the game. Each team had fooled the other for a score, but Dallas had another surprise in store that frustrated Pittsburgh's defense. Their running game didn't figure to dent the steel curtain, but now using traps and draws, the Cowboys' no-name offensive backs drove downfield. They amassed 42 yards, nearly 3 times as much in one series as the Minnesota Vikings gained on the ground for all of Super Bowl IX. Finally, the Dallas running stalled, and forced to pass on 3rd and long, Roger Staubach had a close brush with disaster. Glenn Edwards' near miss of a coast-to-coast interception gave Dallas another chance, this time for 3 points on Tony Frisch's field goal. Dallas had moved the ball against proud Pittsburgh on 2 consecutive series and now led the Steelers 10-7. John Stallworth failed to hold onto a catch Dallas thought they had recovered, but the pass was ruled complete. An uncharacteristically emotional Tom Landry needn't have worried, however, for when Pittsburgh gambled to go for a 4th and 2 from the Dallas 36, All-Pro safety Cliff Harris stepped to the fore. The team's leading hitman, Harris taunted Pittsburgh all day. His intimidation tactics paid off when Franco Harris, of all people, took his eyes off a perfect pass. For the doomsday defense and pugnacious Cliff Harris, stopping Franco was the key to Super Bowl X. And they stopped him nearly every time he touched the ball. Franco Harris has the unique ability to cut back against the grain, leaving opponents flailing at air. But today, Pittsburgh's big gun was fired 27 times for only 82 yards. Harris never got outside all day. But while Doomsday erected a tombstone for Franco, they completely missed the target in Terry Bradshaw and the Pittsburgh passing attack. Error-free and seemingly with hours of pocket time, the rifle-armed Steeler quarterback exploited the Cowboys through the air. Lynn Swann's levitating leap was one of the great catches in football history. Though Swann, who would later be named the game's most valuable player, literally rose to the occasion on the 53-yard pass, Pittsburgh moved no further and looked to Roy Gerela to put the points on the scoreboard that would tie the game. It was the first of 3 kicks Gerela would miss on the day, but the modest 10-7 score in no way reflected the furious action crammed into the first half of Super Bowl X. In the third quarter, another Gerela miss was vital to the outcome of the game. Cliff Harris celebrated the kicker's misfortunes with glee, but number 58, Jack Lambert, quickly came to the rescue. Though Gerela's nemesis was spirited away from danger, the damage was done. Lambert, who many feel stands as the successor to Dick Butkus as the most fearsome defensive player in football, later said, "No one can be allowed to intimidate us. We're supposed to be the intimidators." Lambert used the incident to psych himself to an even higher level of rage. With Joe Green injured, Jack Lambert became the new symbol of Steeler muscle, sifting and rooting through blockers until he found the ball carrier. And Jack Lambert found them 14 times in Super Bowl X. Harris's harmless heckling and Lambert's inspired reaction to it became a turning point for the Steel Curtain defense, and the Dallas Cowboys paid the price. A defensive target was center John Fitzgerald, the trigger on the Dallas shotgun. In an alignment that had both tackles helmet to helmet with him, Pittsburgh made the long, blind center snap even harder to execute. But the biggest factor on defense was blanket coverage by the Steelers secondary. The shotgun was designed to give Staubach extra time and improved sight lines to his receivers, but they seldom came open, and the Pittsburgh front four frolicked in. In the second half, the Pittsburgh defense jammed the shotgun and reduced it to a squirt, setting a Super Bowl record 7 sacks as a Niagara of gold and black poured down on Roger Staubach. Pittsburgh's Steel Curtain had physically taken control of the game. But despite their mastery on the field, what takes place on the sidelines is of equal import to a well-coordinated defense.
They've been running that P13 IC. They've been I in fat seats. And with pass protection I and the I formation, screw the pass. It's play, pass, or run, so the hell with the pass. You get pass influence with an I, play the run. Because they got him to rush upfield, and that's when they've been running that delayed P13. That's what they're... Yeah. And the other thing is they ran a ride 35 and they cut all the way behind you. You can't help with that. That's got to be Lambert and that's got to be LC. When he sees that, he's got to close it. Because you start screwing with that, they're going to go up inside you. Hey, LC, they cut all the way behind our stunt tackle. Did your guy I don't know what kind of block he used, but they got inside you. And when you're in a 2-gap, he tries to jump inside.
Yeah. He just hauled me down. I was 2-gap and I went into him and he just rolled
Drive
me down.
that all the way back because they have no thought of going outside on that. It's all cut back. We're lucky we got out of that series. We got a lot learned there with 3 points. We ought to be all right.
Despite Pittsburgh's defensive dominance, the game was still 10-7 and belonged to Dallas. Then at the start of the final period, Dallas was forced to punt near its end zone. Chuck Noll called for an uncommon all-out rush with 10 men poised at the line ready to charge the punter. Mitch Hupps never knew what hit him. Reggie Harrison's kamikaze charge blocked the ball and sent it out of the end zone for a safety. As so often happens in pro football, a pivotal play was made by the special teams. Pittsburgh now trailed Dallas by a single point. The safety meant more than 2 points, for with a free kick coming, Pittsburgh would have good field position and the opportunity to score again. Indeed, the kick was taken by Mike Collier, and the rookie returned it inside Dallas territory. With their backs to the wall, the Doomsday defense played tough, and Pittsburgh came up short of a first down. The Steelers' fate was once more riding on the foot of Roy Girella, whose aching ribs and bruised psyche did not engender much confidence at this juncture of the game. But the kick was true, and Girella made certain his nemesis, Cliff Harris, was aware of it. More importantly, the Pittsburgh Steelers had taken the lead for the first time in Super Bowl X. After the field goal, a great individual effort by safety Mike Wagner, number 23, stunned Dallas. On the same play that earlier had worked for a touchdown, Wagner had gambled and won. The Steelers safeties were supposed to kick out, go deep, which would allow Drew Pearson to cut across the middle alone, as he did on his first period touchdown. "It's been our bread and butter play all season," Roger Staubach said later. "It was the first time it didn't work." Wagner's great play put Pittsburgh deep, but on 3rd and goal, with the Dallas defense backed up on their own 1-yard line, the Steelers were stopped short of a touchdown again. Franco Harris recovered his own fumble, but Pittsburgh had missed a golden opportunity to put the game away. Roy Girella was called upon for a chip shot, and his kick was good, but Dallas was only 5 points behind, with plenty of time left in Super Bowl X. Super Bowl history. The 64-yard touchdown pass had seemingly put the game out of reach. But while the graceful Swan was celebrating at one end of the field, Terry Bradshaw had been knocked senseless at the other. On the touchdown play, Tom Landry, trying to change the course of the game, had called an all-out blitz. D.D. Lewis, number 50, was the first man in but missed. And then with 2 more Cowboys bearing down, Bradshaw stood his ground and let fly. Accounts of the game report Cliff Harris hit Bradshaw, but it was number 63, tackle Larry Cole, who leveled him. One look at Cole and D.D. Lewis tells all you need to know about the results of the play. Terry Bradshaw left the field with a concussion, but he left a hero. Under his leadership, Pittsburgh had 4 scores in the space of 8 minutes, and ahead now by 11 points with only 3 minutes left. The Steelers appeared to have Super Bowl X salted away. But if Pittsburgh thought the issue was settled, Dallas didn't. With the clock running, the Cowboys came winging downfield on the arm of Roger Staubach. Staubach is a former naval officer who never gives up the ship. Against impossible odds, he took his team 80 yards on 4 passes to the touchdown that brought Dallas to within 4 points of the Steelers. Every one of the 80 million plus who watched this game knew what was coming next. Number 72 tackle Jerry Mullins successfully fielded the onside kick, and the Pittsburgh offense, now led by Terry Hanratty, tried to run out the clock. Pittsburgh gained only a single yard in 3 tries. Now, with 1:28 showing, the Steelers were faced with 4th and 9. Here, Chuck Noll made a controversial decision. Everyone expected Pittsburgh to punt, but knowing Dallas had already used up their timeouts, Noll disdained the punt and ran the ball again. Needing 9 yards, it wasn't even close, and Dallas had another chance to score. No one, not even Noll's own players, understood his decision, but it was born from Pittsburgh's punting problems. Walden had dropped one punt and nearly had 2 others blocked earlier in the game. Noll had no confidence in his kicking game, and rather than risk the punt, left the issue up to his great defense. It came down to Roger Staubach versus the Steel Curtain defense for one final round. Visions of the Minnesota Miracle flashed through the minds of Dallas fans everywhere. Staubach threw short to former Steeler Preston Pearson, who inexplicably turned toward the middle rather than get out of bounds to stop the clock. Now into Pittsburgh real estate, disaster nearly occurred. Seconds left, and the cool courage of Staubach contrasted with a frantic finish, but the quarterback was throwing against a stacked deck. Three seconds left. Time for one last play in the Super Bowl 10. One last chance for the Cowboys to complete their impossible dream. With Glenn Edwards' interception, Pittsburgh's victory was secure. From the opening kickoff to the final gun, Super Bowl 10 had more fireworks than any bicentennial celebration could possibly match. Chuck Noll joined Don Shula and Vince Lombardi as the only coaches to win the Super Bowl twice. The Pittsburgh Steelers now ranked with Green Bay and Miami as one of the great teams in pro football history. The Dallas dream fell just 4 points short, but as Mel Renfro said, we have no regrets. We played as well as we possibly could. For the Steelers who won and the Cowboys who almost did, both could be proud to be part of the greatest Super Bowl ever played.